Hello everyone, I am CS Ishika Agrawal. I hope your preparation is going really well. So in today's video, we are going to study lesson number 7 of CA Foundation Business Laws, which is Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. So let's get started. So before starting Negotiable Instrument Act, as you can see here, the year 1881 is mentioned. What does this mean? This means that this act came in the year 1881. So it's as old as Indian Contract Act. If you can recall, Indian Contract Act you've already studied. It came in 1872. So just few years after Indian Contract Act, this act came Negotiable Instrument Act. Now, as we have studied Indian Contract Act, it talks about contracts. It regulates contract. Same way, what we talk in Negotiable Instrument Act, for that you need to understand what do you mean by the word negotiable, what do you mean by the word instrument, and what do you mean by negotiable instrument. So let's understand from very basic. We will understand each and every word, each and every topic from very basic, from very detailed. Just by watching this video, everything will be clear. So one thing before starting this lecture, we will be covering your whole of ICAI study material. So please keep your ICAI study material in front of you when you're watching this lecture, and a notebook, a law notebook to write short notes and to write the examples that we will discuss in the class, so that you can, you recall provisions through examples. So make sure you write all the examples while studying, okay? And please keep a pen or pencil and highlighter with you. Keep on highlighting the important points. Like when we will study our lesson, in our lesson you can see lot of keywords are there which we have highlighted with the yellow color. So you also have to keep on underlining and highlighting whatever we'll study. See, because ICI study material mein few keywords are very important that you have to study, so that you have to underline along with me. Keep your pencil, pen, highlighter with you. Keep on underlining, keep on highlighting the way I have done throughout the class, throughout the lecture, along with watching the lecture. I hope this is clear to you all. Okay, madam. Now, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. First of all, what do you mean by negotiable? See, the word negotiable means transferable. Transferable means which can be easily transferred from one person to another. For example, if I want to sell this mouse to you, it's easy to transfer the mouse from one person to another person, right? So we'll say it is negotiable, it is transferable. So if I want to sell this mouse to you, easily I can give this mouse to you, I can take the money. So is it transferable? Of course yes. Once I give this mouse to you, this mouse will become yours, it will belong to you now. Are you understanding? So negotiable means transferable. Just like goods are transferable, right? This is good, this is good, I can easily transfer this to you. Same way, the word negotiable means transferable. I hope. Now, what do you mean by instrument? Does it mean any musical instrument? Are we going to play guitar? No. Here instrument means deed or document. Deed or document means any particular piece of paper in which something is written, that is known as document. Deed, that depicts ownership. For example, you have already studied a lot of documents in your Indian Contract Act lesson and in your Sales of Goods Act. You must have heard about bills of lading, railway receipt, checks, bills of exchange. Guys, you have done accounts. In your accounts, in your PU also, in your school, you must have studied about bills receivable, bills payable, bills of exchange. What are all these? All these are instruments. And because these instruments are transferable means you can transfer this from one person to another. That is why these are known as negotiable instrument. Now the question is, why there was a need to bring this law, Negotiable Instrument Act? This act came to legalize these documents, these transferable documents, this transferable instrument, to give value to this instrument, so that proper law will be there to regulate this instrument. Let's understand with the help of example. Let's take an example. As you all know, you have done Indian Contract Act, right? What is contract? Contract means simply entering into any agreement with one another which is enforceable by law. We have already done Indian Contract Act. Ring a bell, ring a bell. Okay, let's talk about a normal contract, a purchase contract. Imagine yourself, let's say there's this baby. Which baby? This baby, cute baby, cutie baby. And let's say there's this shop. This is grocery shop. Okay. Let's say there's a grocery shop and that's a baby. Now this baby went to this shopkeeper and said, Anna, Anna, I'm throwing a house party for all my CA Foundation batchmates, so I want 100 chocolates. I want 100 chocolates. Okay, so he went to this Anna and he said, Anna, Anna, I want 100 chips. This Lays Wali, I want 100 chips. Okay, so this kiddo, what is his name? Kiddo. This kiddo went to a shop and said to shopkeeper, 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 Anna, Anna, I want 100 chips. So he bought 100 chips, and you know, this one packet of chips is of 5 rupees. So total, how much he has to pay to the shopkeeper? 500 rupees. Okay, he bought how many chips? 100 chips packet he bought. One packet is of 5 rupees. So how much he has to pay to the shopkeeper? 500 rupees. So then shopkeeper Anna said, hey, give me up 500 rupees, give me 500 rupees. And then this kiddo is like, Anna, I don't have any money as of now. I will give you na next week na I will get my pocket money. Next week I will get my pocket money, so I'll give it to you. You will say, ma'am, contract with minor is a void. For example, let's say he is 18 plus. Let's take an example, he's 18 plus, or let's change the example because contract with minor is void. So that is why let's change a minor to major. Okay, so let's say instead of this, Shah Rukh Khan went. Okay, same example. Who is this? Shah Rukh Khan. Now let's say Shah Rukh Khan bought this 100 chips of 5 rupees each from the shopkeeper. And then when the shopkeeper asked for payment, and then Shah Rukh Khan said, I'll give you next month. Next month I'll give you. Next month. Right now I don't have money, next month I'll give you. But then the shopkeeper is like, it's all based on trust. These kind of transactions happens. What if next month Shah Rukh Khan don't give the money? This shopkeeper might have a doubt. How will I find you next month? What if you are gone? You never come back to me. You never give my money. Shopkeeper might be in doubt. How should I trust you? And then Shah Rukh Khan said, okay, you don't trust me that I'll give you 500 rupees. Then Shah Rukh Khan said, he took a piece of paper. Okay, he took, I don't have any paper here. Okay, let's say he took a piece of paper, and in that paper he wrote the name of shopkeeper. Let's say the name of shopkeeper is Rajnikant. Okay, the name of the shopkeeper is Rajnikant. So what he'll do, he took a piece of paper. In that piece of paper is here, I promise to pay, I promise to pay Mr. Rajnikant a sum of rupees 500 on, let's say, 1st of May 2025. And here Shah Rukh Khan will put his signature, and here Rajnikant will put his signature. Are you understanding? Achha, even if Rajnikant's signature is not there, it's fine. Let's say Shah Rukh Khan put Shah Rukh. He put his signature, and then he gave this particular document to the shopkeeper. Now this is known as promissory note. This is known as promissory note. And you know, this is a negotiable instrument. Negotiable instrument, first of all, is it a document? Yes, it's a document, so it's an instrument. Secondly, it is transferable. Transferable means, imagine there's a piece of paper. In this piece of paper, if I write down that I give to Vignesh 100 rupees next month, and I put my signature, and I give this document to you, then you actually get right to recover 100 rupees from me legally. It is enforceable by law. So this is a legal paper, and it is transferable, means I give it to you, I give this paper to you, then you become owner of this, and you are entitled to claim money under this. This works same like check. Are you understanding? It works similar to check. So this is why this law was made, to legalize these kind of documents. Because imagine, what if there is no law regarding this negotiable instrument? What if there is no law? There would be no bill of exchange. People would be scared to do credit transactions. Everyone, then this shopkeeper would not be able to give chocolates or chips to Shah Rukh Khan. Said that no, 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 do cash payment, don't take on credit, I don't trust you whether you will give or not. But because Shah Rukh Khan, he gave a promissory note. He gave a promissory note. What is promissory note? Nothing but on a piece of paper he wrote down that, oh, I agree to pay you this much rupees on this date. And that is a legal document, and that is transferable. So Shah Rukh Khan, just because he wrote that promissory note and he submitted that promissory note to the shopkeeper, that shopkeeper got trust and he got faith ki ha, now to I will definitely get my 500 rupees, now it's not going anywhere. Why? You know what? Because this is a legal document. This is the legal document which is legalized through this act known as Negotiable Instrument Act. And if later, let's say due date came, 1st March came, and Shah Rukh Khan, if he doesn't make the payment, he denies the payment, this person can go to the court and file a case against Shah Rukh Khan. And also, you know what? This person, this shopkeeper Rajnikant, he can recover that money from the bank. He can go to bank, he can show the promissory note, and he can get it discounted. He can get the money from the bank. Later on, bank can recover the money from Shah Rukh Khan. Of course, bank charges some commission for that. But are you understanding the basic thing? So, in order to legalize this paper, in order to legalize this document, that's why this law came, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Otherwise, people would be scared to do credit transaction. So these kind of documents are properly legalized and they are given value. They are legalized under this act, Negotiable Instrument Act. That's why you study bills receivable, bills payable, check. For example, we will understand another term called check also. Let's say Shah Rukh Khan bought chips from this grocery store, Rajnikant, from the shopkeeper Rajnikant. Shah Rukh Khan bought 100 chips of 5 rupees. Now he has to pay 500 rupees. So what he did not have cash, but he has his checkbook. So he draw a check. You know, all of you must have seen check, guys. Check, check, check. This is how check looks like. I hope all of you have seen a check in your life. Let's say this is a check. Okay. Okay, so this is how a check looks like. You have to write here date, and you have to write here the name of the person, and then the amount, and you have to put your signature here. This is how a check looks like. So what happens now, when you make a check, you are ordering your bank to make payment from your bank account to the recipient. Recipient means the person whose name is mentioned here. For example, in your check, I have drawn this check. So in this check, I have written pay to Srinivasan. I hope the pronunciation is correct. Srinivasan. Pay to Srinivasan a sum of rupees. How much? Or bearer. Achha, see here, or bearer is also written. Or bearer. How much? 6,000. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 6,493 rupees, and then you have put the signature here. So here you are ordering to your bank. Let's say my bank is with HDFC. This is the UCB. Okay. So let's say I do this check. So I'm ordering my bank. Dear bank. Okay. Dear bank, please pay to Srinivasan a sum of rupees 6,493. So this is a negotiable instrument. Now I drew this check. Now I have to deliver this to Srinivasan. The moment I will hand over or transfer this check to Srinivasan, now he will become the entitled to recover 6,493 from my bank. Are you understanding? And this is also an example of negotiable. Check is also an example of Negotiable Instrument Act, because see, check is a piece of paper, right, through which you're transferring money. So check is a piece of paper. That means it's an instrument. Instrument means document. It's a document. Secondly, check you have to deliver to the other person. It is transferable. For example, if I don't put any name here, name is blank. I simply enter the amount 10 million rupees and I put my signature. That means anyone who get this check will be entitled to 10 million rupees. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? For example, I did not put any name of Srinivasan here. What did I do in this check? I simply put the date, the amount 6493 and put my signature. It's a blank check. Are you understanding? Or let's say I have not put amount also. I simply put my signature here. Anyone who get the check can put his name, can put any amount, and he will be entitled to that much money. Are you understanding, guys? It's a transferable instrument. Transferable means we can give it to someone else and we can transfer it just by delivery, by signing, and by delivery we can transfer it to some other person. That's why it is known as negotiable instrument. And it was very important to legalize this, to regulate this, and that's why this act came, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Don't worry, we'll know more about it once we start the lesson. We will study detail about this law, what does this law says. As of now, I hope you all have understood the basic meaning of Negotiable Instrument Act. I gave you two examples of Negotiable Instrument Act. One is your check, another is your promissory note, one more is your bills of exchange, bills receivable, bills payable. We are going to study about these topics in very very detail, but as of now, I really hope you have got a basic idea of what do you mean by negotiable instrument and why does this act came, what is the purpose of this law. So guys, if you'll come to your material, everyone please come to your material. Please come to your material, please. Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Everyone, open your ICI material right now. Open your. Don't just keep on watching the lecture without opening your material and notebook. Please keep your material, notebook, pen, pencil, highlighter open. Everyone, page number 7.2, Introduction. Read what I have underlined here. What is given here? The main objective of the Act. What was the main objective? Objective means purpose. Why we brought this law? The main objective or purpose of this law is to legalize the system by which instruments means, guys, documents. If you don't know the meaning of any word, kindly write it down. What do you mean by instrument? Instrument means document. So what is the objective of this law? Is to legalize the system by which documents contemplated by it documents contemplated by it could pass from one hand to another hand by negotiation like any other goods. So what we are saying, just like a good, for example, let's say this is a goods, this mouse, this is a goods, this bottle, it's a goods. So just by handing over this to other person, if simply I will hand over this bottle to the other person, the ownership we can transfer the ownership just by negotiation or by the delivery. Same way we wanted to bring a law which would regulate the transfer of instruments, documents like check, promissory note, bills of exchange. So this law came. What is the purpose of this law? The purpose of this law is to bring a system, to legalize a system through which we can transfer these kind of instruments just like goods. Just like we can transfer goods, same way, so that we can transfer instrument from one person to another. Now, please come here. This is an act. Underline only what I have underlined, everyone. This is an act to define and amend law relating to promissory note, bills of exchange, checks. This act applies to whole of India, but nothing here in context affect RBI. See, this act does not apply to RBI. Why? Because see, notes, currency note also comes in bills of exchange. Sorry, transferable instruments, negotiable instrument, but RBI is allowed to regulate it. RBI is the monetary regulator of our country. So RBI is allowed to print the cash, currency notes, currency coins, etc. So RBI ko this act does not apply. Please make sure you know that this act does not apply to RBI. It's like you cannot apply to the rule to the father, home rule to the father. So it's like this act does not apply to RBI, and this act applies to whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir after abrogation of Article 370. So of course it applies to whole of India. We cannot apply our Indian law to China. China have their own law. Every country have their own law. So our country have our own law. So our law, Negotiable Instrument Act, is applicable to whole of India. But it does not apply to RBI. It does not apply to RBI. I hope one thing is clear. Now, one thing, this act talks about three things. First is your promissory note, second is your bills of exchange, and third is your check. Now you would say, ma'am, there are other negotiable instrument also now. Yes, of course, there are other negotiable instrument also, like in your Indian Contract Act, in your bills, in your sales of goods act, you have studied about bills of lading, about railway receipt, etc., etc. They are also negotiable instrument, but wait, this act does not regulate them. So this act clearly tells you ki hayala, there are 10s, 20s, 30s types of negotiable instruments. Sorry, there are lots of negotiable instruments, but this act This act, Negotiable Instrument Act, covers only three types of negotiable instrument, which is your promissory note, bills of exchange, and check. I hope you all are clear with this. कि वैसे तो generally there are a lot of types of negotiable instrument, but this act covers only three: promissory note, bills of exchange, check. Ma'am, why? Because there was a need to regulate these three. Because these three talks about payments. Please understand. Bills of lading, railway receipts, they are already covered under SOGA Act, Indian Contract Act. Anyway, there was no need to cover it here because they were not talking about the payment. But this three documents, promissory note, bills of exchange, checks, talks about payment, monetary payment. So that's why it was necessary to bring it under law. That's why we made the separate law, Negotiable Instrument Act, to regulate these three documents. Now, please understand, so there are more types of negotiable instrument, but this act covers only check, promissory note, and bill of exchange, and which we are going to study one by one. Now, come here. The provision of this act are also applicable to hundis, unless there is a local usage to the contrary. See, hundis are very traditional, old. You know that they write in a that old, it was used in our ancient times. We used to write like a notice, and we used to fold it like this, open it like this, fold it like this, like. So it's a very ancient instrument used earlier, but hundis ko bhi we can make this law applicable, except when it is contrary to the local usage. Local usage means if aise hundis, regarding hundis there's no law, so they are regulated as per the usage. Usage means custom and tradition. Custom and tradition means the way we are using it since ages, the same way we use hundis even now. But this act can regulate hundis also, except when they are contrary to the usual custom and tradition or the usual uses that we are doing since long. Okay, so as you can see here, if you see, there are other instruments also. There are other negotiable instruments also, like treasury bill, bearer debentures, railway receipt, bills of lading, delivery orders, etc. They are also negotiable instrument, but they are not covered under this act. This act covers only promissory note, bills of exchange, and check. I hope this point is clear to you. This is not relevant from examination point of view. What is given here, how many times amendment have come. So after this act came 1881, then their amendment act came in 2002, amendment act came in 2015, and amendment act came in 2018, which means in negotiable instrument, which was made in 1881, three times changes has been made: 2002, 15, and 18. Not relevant from examination point of view, just for general knowledge. Now we are going to start the real chapter. Are we all ready? Yes, are we all ready, everyone? Now we are going to start the real chapter. Please, everyone, come to page number 7.3. Meaning of negotiable instruments. Meaning of negotiable instruments. Please come here. What is given? Negotiable instrument is an instrument. Wow, what a definition. Wait, definition is not yet over, it just started. So, negotiable instrument is an instrument. Okay, instrument means document which is freely transferable. Freely, guys, freely transferable means I can easily transfer the negotiable instrument from one person to another. For example, one best example of negotiable instrument I'll give you is money. Okay, guys, if you can see this 100 rupees note. Okay, can you see this 100 rupees note? Yes, you can. Now, this is a piece of paper. What is this note? I will not tear it. Okay, so if you can see this, this is nothing but a piece of paper. Now, can I call it instrument? Yes, I can call it instrument. I can call it instrument. Now, is it transferable? Of course, it is freely transferable. For example, if I give this 100 rupees note to Mr. A, let's say there is Mr. A. Oh, Mr. A, hello. I give this 100 rupees note to Mr. A, then it will become Mr. A's 100 rupees. Are you understanding? Then he will become the owner of this. Is it freely transferable? Of course, yes. So can I say this is one of the example of negotiable instrument? Yes. So are you understanding what do you mean by negotiable instrument? Imagine this 100 rupees note, piece of paper. So it's just an instrument which is freely transferable from one person to another. Which, for example, if I am holding this 100 rupees, so it's mine. And the moment I will give this 100 rupees note to to Raghuveer, then this 100 rupees note will become Raghuveer's 100 rupees note. Are you just taking a random name? Okay, so negotiable instrument is a document which is freely transferable from one person to another. One thing you understood, that negotiable instrument is a piece of paper, is a document which is freely transferable. Okay, everyone. Yes, ma'am, got it. Okay, now how it is transferable? Either by mere delivery or by endorsement and delivery. Guys, please understand. Let's write it down. What do you mean by negotiable instrument? NI. So, negotiable instrument means an instrument. So, one thing, so we understood it's an instrument means document. Next, which is freely transferable. Which is freely transferable. You can write it down if you want, from one person to another. This also we understood, ma'am, ki it's an instrument which is freely transferable. Now, how you can transfer? Either mere by delivery or by endorsement plus delivery. Endorsement plus delivery. Now, what do you mean by delivery? Delivery means simply means handing over the possession. So imagine there is this imaginary person in front of me. So imagine, let's say, this is Buddha. Can you see? Yes, you can see. Let's say this is Buddha. Imagine he is alive. Now, I am holding this 100 rupees note. I gave this 100 rupees note to Buddha. This is known as delivery. Delivery means where simply you transfer the possession. So, is it transferred? Yes. Here, do you need to put signature? Before paying this 100 rupees, do I need to put my sign? Oh, do I need to put my sign here and then give you? No, right? Endorsement is not needed, only delivery is enough. So, for some negotiable instrument, you can only deliver. That's enough to transfer it. So, for example, this currency note, if I want to transfer this currency note to Buddha, I can simply deliver. So, by delivery, we can transfer, no need to sign. However, there are some type of negotiable instrument where you have to do endorsement plus delivery in order to transfer. For example, check. I have to bring my checkbook. I don't have. Okay, I'll bring. Just wait a minute. First, I'll tell you what do you mean by endorsement. Endorsement means signing. Endorsement means signing. Guys, remember I gave you this example of this check. We googled one check. If you can see, okay, you can see this check. Yes, we can, ma'am. Now in this check, if you'll see, oh, sorry. Now in this check, if you'll see, if I don't put my signature here, see, you have to put your signature now here. You have to put your signature. If I don't put my signature here and I simply just write the amount and your name and give the check to you, can you get the money? Can you get the money? Tell me, can you get the money? Can you get the money from the bank? Will bank give you the money? Of course not. Are you understanding? So check, in order to transfer the check, it has to be endorsed first and then delivered. Are you understanding? So first I have to put my signature and then I have to give it to you, then only it will be transferable. If I will simply deliver the check. Imagine this is check. This is the note now. Okay. Imagine this is a check. This is a cloth, but imagine what's wrong with imagining. You can imagine, right? Imagine this is a check. Now, if I don't put my signature in the check, I simply give this check to you. Is it transferred? No. So check is a type of negotiable instrument where you have to sign first and then you have to transfer. So it has to be endorsed and then delivered, then only it will be transferred. So guys, how you can transfer negotiable instrument from one person to another? In some case, you can transfer by mere delivery, just by giving it to other person, no need to sign. But sometimes you have to do endorsement plus delivery. Endorsement means sign first and then deliver to the other person. I hope this is crystal clear to all of you. With this, we are almost done with the definition of negotiable instrument. Guys, everyone, we are doing. What do you mean by negotiable instrument? This definition you have to learn properly. 2 marks question can come in your examination. What do you mean by negotiable instrument? Okay, so everyone, with along with class only, you should be able to remember properly what do you mean by negotiable instrument. Negotiable instrument means a document or an instrument which is freely transferable, freely transferable from one person to another, which you can transfer. But ma'am, how ma'am? There are two ways of transferring. First, by mere delivery, simply by delivering, or another way of transferring is by endorsement plus delivery, by endorsement and delivery. I hope it is clear, and this is the definition of negotiable instrument. One more question can come. You have to properly learn this definition, guys. Properly learn this definition. We have already understood negotiable instrument means an instrument which is freely transferable from one person to another by mere delivery or by endorsement plus delivery. I hope crystal clear, guys. Say crystal clear, say crystal clear. I hope it is understandable. Now let's move forward. The property in such an instrument passes to the bona fide transferee. Now guys, here underline property. Property means ownership. Guys, here property means ownership. So ownership of such document passes to the transferee for value. Transferee for value means, guys, let's say I am transferring this 100 rupees note to Buddha. Are you understanding? So here Buddha is the transferee. I am the transferer. Transferer means the person who's giving the instrument. Transferee means who's taking the instrument. Now if I get this 100 rupees to Buddha, ownership will transfer from me to Buddha. So when you transfer a negotiable instrument, the ownership of that document passes to the transferee for value. For value means it's never for free. It's never for free. Let's say Buddha gave me some classes, some knowledge about lightning, about um, life. He got me some lessons. He gave me some lessons. So let's say I made a payment of fees. I gave him fees. So that's for value. For value means consideration. Guys, we have done Indian Contract Act. There we have done कि contract is valid only if there is a consideration. Consideration means something in return. Something in return. Are you understanding? For example, I gave you CA Foundation Law classes, or Ananya College gave you CA Foundation Law classes, and in return, you gave the fees. How? By paying the check. By paying the check. So now that check will belong to the transferee, that is Ananya College, for value. For value means for consideration. Have we given you something in return? Yes, we have provided you with classes. So I hope that this is crystal clear to all of you. Now, the act does not define the word negotiable instrument. Guys, this is not the definition given in the act, but this is the general definition as per general understanding. However, section 13 of the acts provides three kind of negotiable instruments are there: BOE, PN and check, payable either to order or bearer. Guys, we will understand what do you mean by to order and bearer. Have patience as of now. Trust me, we will do this in very detail. You will understand everything. Okay, to order and to bearer. We will do this. Just have some patience. We will do this in very detail. Okay, this we have already done. That hundi, TB, treasury bill, bearer debentures, railway receipt, bills of lading, etc. They are also negotiable instrument, but they are used as per the normal usage. They are not covered under this act. So guys, mainly this act, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, talks about three types of instrument: promissory note, bills of exchange and check, which we have to do one by one. Are we clear with this? So from this page, what you have to do till now, this you have to learn properly, first paragraph till now. Are we? That's it. That's it. Rest all you can ignore. That's just for general knowledge. What you have to learn till now you have to learn this first paragraph properly. Now coming back to the last half of the page. Now they have understood what do you mean by payable to order and what do you mean by payable to bearer. What do you mean by payable to order and what do you mean by payable to bearer? Just a second. Okay, so the next topic that we are going to understand is what is negotiable instrument payable to order and what is negotiable instrument payable to bearer. Once you understand this, you'll feel this is very easy. See, payable to order means when you specifically tell who is the transferee, when you specifically tell the name of the person to whom to make the payment, that is known as payable to order. For example, if you draw this check, In this check, you entered the amount 6,493 paid to Mr. Srinivasan. So here this is order. Order why? Because you have entered the name of the person to whom to pay this check. To whom you are giving this check, to whom you are giving this money, 6,400 rupees. You are giving this money to Srinivasan. So you have specifically mentioned the name of Srinivasan. So this is known as payable to order. Order means here does not means order of the judge. No, not that order. And your order does not means giving order. Here order means you are mentioning the name of the person who should receive the payment, that is payable to order. So because you have mentioned the name of Srinivasan, have you mentioned the name of transferee who will be receiving this money? Yes, then this is known as order. Are you understanding? Now if I want to give this check, I have mentioned to pay to Srinivasan a sum of rupees 6,493. Now, if I want to give this check to Srinivasan, is it okay if I simply deliver, or I have to sign and then deliver? Yes, you are right. I have to sign and then deliver. That means whenever you want to give any negotiable instrument to your order means if you want to give negotiable instrument to a specific person, let's say Mr. Ram. So you are giving this check to Ram. Pay to Ram a sum of rupees 6 lakh rupees. So this is transferable only by endorsement plus delivery. Endorsement, what did I say? Ma'am, फिर से बोलो, ma'am, फिर से. So if I talk about order, to order, and to bearer, guys, in short, I can call it order instrument. If you want, you can write it down, or I can call this bearer instrument. Anywhere, wherever you get space in the material, top, bottom, last page of the lesson, or your notebook, wherever. In the one is your bearer instrument. Guys, when we say it's an order, order instrument means the you are giving it to specific person. Transfer to specific person. You are transferring it to specific person ki ha, I am transferring to Mr. Ram. Pay to Mr. Ram. And this is transferable only by endorsement plus delivery. Endorsement plus delivery. Are you understanding? So if I want to give this check to Mr. Ram, then I have to sign on that check and then give it to Mr. Ram. Sign is also required and delivery is also required. I hope you are clear with this. What do you mean by payable to order? But bearer means when you specifically mention it is payable to bearer. Transfer to bearer means anyone who is holding the document. What do you mean by bearer? Now imagine, guys, if I put the blank check, no one's name is written here, just amount is mentioned, name is not mentioned, just amount is mentioned, and I have put my signature here. What does this mean? This is payable to bearer because I have not mentioned, not to whom. Anyone who found this check, let's say I lost the check while walking on the road. While walking on the road, I lost this check where only amount and sign was there. The payee name was not mentioned. Transferee name was not mentioned. Mr. Rajnikant found the note and he put his name. Then he will be entitled to money. Are you understanding? Anyone who has a possession of that check, anyone who has a possession of that check, Rajnikant found that check, he can go and take the money. Are you from the bank? Are you understanding? This is what bearer means. Bearer means no one's name is mentioned. It is either bearer is written there or no name is written there, so that anyone who's holding the document, if I have that check, then I am the owner of that. I am entitled to payment. So it is transferable simply by delivery. And bearer means where any specific person's name is not mentioned. It is payable to anyone who is in the possession of that document. That document is known as bearer instrument. Guys, we are going to study this in very detail. For example, the best example of bearer instrument is currency note. As I'll tell you, if you have any currency note with you, guys, please see. If I want you all to read this, if you can read this, what's written here. Can you read this? What's written here? Okay. If not, I'll show you from here. Guys, can you read this? Okay. In the currency note, what is written here? Oh, just a second. Oops. What's written here? I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 100 rupees, and then signature of governor. Can you see there's a sign of governor? There's a stamp also. Guys, here you can see there is a stamp of governor. Here you can see there's a sign. This is a stamp of RBI. Sorry. You can see here this is a stamp of RBI. This is a sign of governor, and you can see, read what is given here. You can read what is given here. I promise to pay the bearer the sum of rupees 100. The sum of 100 rupees. Same thing is written in Hindi. Read this part only. I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 100 rupees. Governor ka sign, RBI ka stamp. Guys, what does this mean? This means that this is a bearer document. Bearer document means you don't need to mention anyone's name here. This currency note belongs to Ishika ma'am. No, no name is written here. No need to write any name here. You simply, the person who's holding this document is the owner of this. Who is the owner of 100 rupees? I am holding this 100 rupees, so I am the owner of this. Let's say I gave this 100 rupees to Manjunath, then Manjunath will become the owner of this 100 rupees. Guys, are you understanding? Or let's say, for example, I was simply walking on the road, and while walking on the road, there was a wind blowing. So this 100 rupees note started flying, and it fell down in the road. And some Raju walking on the road found this 100 rupees note. Now, who will become the owner of this 100 rupees note? Raju, because he found it, because he is holding it. Guys, are you understanding? Guys, bearer means anyone who holds it, anyone who's in the possession of this document is the owner of that document. No name is written here. No need to write any name. In this 100 rupees note, governor is saying ki I pay to bearer. Bearer means the person who's holding it, the person who's bearing it. So this document we will call a bearer instrument. I hope everyone is crystal clear. What do you mean by payable to order and payable to bearer? So guys, in any negotiable instrument, when you write payable to order, meaning you write the name of the specific person ki pay to Rajnikant, that is payable to order. When you mention the name of specific person ki sirf Rajnikant ko hi give 500 rupees, give only Rajnikant 500 rupees, that is order instrument. What do you mean by bearer instrument? Where no one's name is mentioned, anyone who's bearing that document, who's holding that document, can claim the money. Are you understanding? For example, here it's mentioned pay to bearer. Pay to bearer means anyone who's holding this will be entitled to get the 100 rupees cash. Are we clear with this? That's bearer instrument. Now, guys, while making the bearer instrument, first the person who's making the bearer instrument has to sign. I agree, guys. Even this instrument will be legal only if it is signed. Guys, you know, if there is no government ka sign, that means it's a fake note. It's a fake note. It has to be signed and stamped by RBI. So let's say governor, while making this currency note, they put a signature here. Can you see? There is a signature of governor. So they put a signature here. And then they issued this currency note. Now, for further transferring this note to further people, do we need to sign again? For example, I went to a shop. Let's say I went to this grocery shop, and I said, Anna, give me 100 rupees ke chocolates I want to distribute to my students. Give me 100 rupees ke chocolates I want to distribute to my students. And Anna gave me chocolates. And now I want to give this 100 rupees note to this Mr. Anna. Anna, take 100 rupees note. Now, do you think in order to give this 100 rupees note to this Anna, do I need to sign and give it to him? Or I can give it to him even without signing? Tell me. Tell me. Imagine I'm standing in the shop. Okay. Imagine, guys. I am in the shop. Imagine. Okay, I'm saying, Anna, give me 100 rupees chocolate. And he gave me 100 rupees chocolate. Okay, thank you. And in return, I want to pay this 100 rupees to him. I want to pay this 100 rupees to him. Take 100 rupees. Now, please tell me, do I need to sign on this, or I can simply give it without signing? Yes, you all are right. I don't need to sign again. I can simply just deliver it. Signing is not required, endorsement is not required. Simply you can deliver. I will give this 100 rupees to this person, and then this person will become the owner of this 100 rupees note, and then I will say it is transferred. It is transferred to this Anna. I hope you're understanding. This is a example of bearer instrument. So what I mean to say you, I mean to say you is, in order to transfer a bearer instrument, you can transfer it by mere delivery. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? You don't need to sign again. You don't need to sign again. You can transfer it by mere delivery. I don't need to sign on this again. This is a bearer instrument. It means I can transfer it to anyone by mere delivery. Delivery means simply giving the possession. I simply gave this to Anna. Are you understanding? So please, I hope this point is clear to you all, that when do we say that it's an order instrument? Order instrument means when any document is payable only to a particular person. For example, I'll tell you this check example I gave you. Where gone, khulja, sim. Okay, so let's say this is a check. In this check, I have written pay to Srinivasan, a sum of rupees 6,400. It means it's an order instrument. Order means specific name is given. Now, even if Srinivasan loses this check and Mr. Raju found this check, still he cannot claim the money because Raju's name is not mentioned here. Srinivasan name is mentioned here. So this is an order instrument because name is properly mentioned. Who is entitled to this check, and here you can deliver it only after signing. Here you need to, in order to transfer this, you need to do endorsement plus delivery. However, when we talk about a bearer instrument, in bearer instrument no need to write the name of the person, simply you can write pay to bearer. Pay to bearer. So for example, here governor has written here, I promise to pay to bearer. Bearer means the person who's holding this note. So here that's a bearer document where no one's name is mentioned. It is payable to anyone who's holding it. Secondly, in order to transfer it, we don't need to do endorsement again. We don't need to sign again. Only the person while making it, governor while making it made the signature, that's fine. Now to further transfer it, I don't need to sign. I can simply transfer it by delivering it to other person by mere delivery. That is the major difference between order instrument and bearer instrument, which is very important, guys. 4 mark question can come in your examination. Write the difference between order instrument and bearer instrument. I hope this is all clear to you. What do you mean by order instrument and bearer instrument? So when we say that, now come to the material. I hope you have understood. Let's read the bookish material and the bookish language, what is given here. Read very carefully. It is written here, negotiable instrument is payable to order when it is expressed to be so payable. What do you mean by expressed to be so payable? Means when you are expressly telling pay to order. If in a instrument you are specifically writing pay to order Srinivasan, that means it's an order instrument. You are specifically telling ki pay to order. Or when it is expressed to be payable to a specific person, Srinivasan, pay to Srinivasan 6,400 rupees. So when you specifically mention ki pay to specific person, that's an order instrument and does not contain word prohibiting its transfer. Bakwas point is given here, meaning you have not written anything in the check or negotiable instrument that don't transfer it to Srinivasan. Anything is not written there which prohibits its transfer. Simply that is payable to order. Now in order to transfer an order instrument, it needs to be endorsed and then delivery. You need to do endorsement plus delivery. Now let's talk about what do you mean by bearer instrument. Payable to bearer means when it is expressed to be so payable. Example, pay to bearer. Example, this currency note. Even in this check, if you will see this check, even in this check, if you'll see here, if you don't mention the Srinivasan name, now there is one more option given here, or bearer. Can you read here, or bearer? If you tick on the bearer part and if you don't write the Srinivasan's name, then any person who's holding the check will be entitled to the payment and then it will become a bearer instrument. Are you understanding? Then it will become a bearer instrument. So guys, if you'll see here, payable to bearer means any instrument we can say it's bearer instrument when it is so expressed. So expressed means when it is expressly written there that it's a bearer instrument. So this note, currency note, is no doubt a bearer instrument because it is expressly written here. You all have read. It is written here, I promise to pay the bearer. Specifically, it is written ki it's a bearer instrument. So when do we say that it's a bearer instrument? When it is expressed to be so payable to the bearer. Are we clear with this? Or the only or the last installment endorsement. The only endorsement or the last endorsement is endorsement in blank. What do you mean by this, guys? Let's understand. That is a person who possesses it can demand payment. For example, let's take an example. This is a check. Okay, let's download this photo and make some changes in this check. Okay, can I download this? Download Muddy. Okay, download it. Now let's open it here. Guys, okay. If I open this check, I downloaded this from Google. Now, guys, this is a check. Okay, this is how a check looks like. Imagine I have put my signature here. This is my check, and I'm saying pay. What I'm saying? Okay, pay to Srinivasan a sum of rupees 6,493, and I've put my check here. Okay, understood, ma'am? This is an order instrument. This is an order instrument because here order name is mentioned. Array Srinivasan name is mentioned now. So this is order instrument or bearer instrument? Tell me correctly. This is right now an order instrument because order's name is mentioned. Specific name is mentioned, Srinivasan, pay to Srinivasan. So this is an order instrument. But let's take an example on the back of this note. Piche side, back. Let's say this is the front side. This is the front side. This is the back side. Imagine, flip this check. Imagine this is the back side of the check. Okay. Now in the back side, Srinivasan makes a blank signature. Blank signature. Now, the last endorsement that he's doing, it's in blank. Blank means he did not write he did not write the name, or he simply, let's say, either it's blank, no one's name is mentioned. Srinivasan, who put signature here? Srinivasan put his signature here, which is in blank, or he writes pay to bearer, or simply, let's say, it's in blank. Blank. No one's name is mentioned here. Now this becomes a bearer instrument. You know what? Now let's say Srinivasan gave this check to Manjunath. Imagine Srinivasan gave this check to Manjunath. Now, can Manjunath also demand payment of 6,493? Yes. Why? Because Srinivasan signed on the back of the check without writing any name. Without writing any name. Srinivasan signed on the back of the check without writing any name. This is known as blank. This is known as transfer in blank. Are you understanding? Now, if Srinivasan gave this check to Manjunath, even if Manjunath's name is not mentioned here, but who was ordered earlier? Srinivasan, and he has already signed it. So now this became a bearer instrument. Srinivasan signed on the back of the check. Now it became bearer instrument. So now a person who's holding the instrument can demand the payment. So now if Srinivasan gave this check to Manjunath, can Manjunath demand payment? The answer is yes, he can demand payment because it has become bearer instrument. Now let's take an example. Manjunath further transferred it to Rajnikant. Manjunath further transferred this check to Rajnikant. Can Rajnikant also demand the payment of 6,493? The answer is yes. Why? Because right now it's a bearer instrument, no need to sign. Now, do Manjunath need to sign again and deliver it? Do we need the signature of Manjunath also here? No. Now this has become a bearer instrument. So now you can further transfer it without signing. Are you understanding? So now if Manjunath wants to transfer this check to Rajnikant, he can simply transfer it by mere delivery. He can simply give the check to Rajnikant, and then Rajnikant can also claim this payment of 6,493. Do Manjunath need to sign again? No. Why? Because it has already become a bearer instrument. Are you understanding? That's the difference between order instrument and bearer instrument. So when you first time make the bearer instrument, of course you have to sign and then deliver. But once it has become a bearer instrument, further you can transfer it by mere delivery. No need to sign it again and again. For example, Srinivasan, while making it a bearer instrument, he signed and then delivered to Manjunath. Now it has already become a bearer instrument. Manjunath can further transfer it to other person, Rajnikant, by mere delivery, by simply giving the check to Rajnikant. No need to sign again. I hope this is a very technical point you all are understanding, guys. And how you make a bearer instrument? Simply by making the last endorsement in blank. Last endorsement in blank means, endorsement means signing. So when Srinivasan was signing this document, it was in blank. Blank means no one's name was mentioned here. So this became a bearer instrument. How to make a bearer instrument? Either you can simply write pay to bearer. That way you can make a bearer instrument, guys. There are two ways of making an instrument bearer. First, simply you can write pay to bearer. That way also you can pay to bearer, or another way of paying to bearer is simply last endorsement should be in blank, or any endorsement should be in blank. Are you understanding? So let's say If Srinivasan put his signature, Srinivasan, whose name was mentioned in the check, he put his signature. That is known as endorsement, and that's in blank, means no one's name is mentioned. So now it became a bearer instrument. Anyone who's holding the check can demand the payment. Or let's take another one more example. Let's say I am the owner of this check. I'm making this check. I did not write anyone's name here. It's a blank. The only endorsement that I'm doing, I put my signature here, Ishika. I'm making this check. I put my signature here, but no one's name is mentioned. It's blank. It's blank. No one's name is mentioned. This is also a bearer instrument. Why? Because now whosoever hold this check can get the payment, because endorsement is in blank. Is in blank means no one's name is mentioned. No one's name is mentioned. I've simply put my signature here. So now this became a bearer instrument, and now anyone who's holding this check can demand the payment of 6,493. Are you understanding? For example, I gave this check to Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan gave this check to Salman Khan. Salman Khan gave this check to Deepika Padukone. Now Deepika Padukone can demand this payment of 6,493 because no one's name is mentioned here. Here the only endorsement which I did was in blank. Are you understanding? So what we are saying, guys, I hope you all have understood this point. What do you mean by payable to bearer? What do you mean by payable to bearer, guys? Payable to bearer means either it's expressed payable to bearer, or the only and the last endorsement. The endorsement means signing that you're doing is in blank. I hope you understood what you mean by endorsement in blank. Now the person who possesses it can demand payment. The person who's holding that can demand the payment. For example, a check made payable to specific person, and the check that is endorsed by signing on the back of the check by that specified person. Srinivasan wala example, same example I gave you, that is written here. For example, you made a check payable to Srinivasan, a check which is payable to specific person. Who specific person, guys? Remember the check example that I gave you just now. A check we made pay to Srinivasan. So check was made payable to Srinivasan, specific person, but now that check is endorsed by signing on the back of the check by that specified person. Specified person means Srinivasan. Now if Srinivasan will flip the check, on the back of the check, if Srinivasan will put blank signature, he will simply put signature in blank without writing anyone's name. Now it will become a bearer instrument. Now it will become a bearer instrument, guys. I hope everyone is clear. What do you mean by order and bearer instrument? Or you can say payable to order, payable to bearer, or you can say order instrument or bearer instrument. So please, you have to learn the language also, because your examination is a descriptive example. Understanding is good, but also you have to see the language. So payable to order means when it is expressed so payable, or when it is payable to specified person. Are we clear with this? What do you mean by payable to bearer? Payable to bearer means when it is expressed to be so payable, and where the only and the last endorsement is in blank. Either it is expressed payable to bearer, or the last endorsement was in blank. Same example, two example we did. Srinivasan wala, are we clear with this? That's known as payable to order and payable to bearer. And last topic for today that we'll do is general characteristics of negotiable instrument. In the next lecture, we will be studying about promissory note, bills of exchange, and check. Okay, so guys, now come here some general characteristics. This question can come for like 4 marks. General characteristics of negotiable instrument. First of all, it should be in writing. It can never be oral. This currency note, it's writing. Of course, yes, it's written here. It's a piece of paper. Are you understanding? It's never oral. It's never oral. It's always in writing. Secondly, it has to be signed. Even bearer instrument has to be signed. Are you understanding, guys? This is a bearer instrument. But still, there is a signature of governor. The person who makes the instrument has to sign it. The person who makes the bearer instrument has to sign it. So it is never legal without signing, guys. If in any note you will see there is no signature of governor, that's a fake note, that's not a real note. So it has to be signed. Every negotiable instrument, be it an order instrument or an bearer instrument, it has to be signed. Secondly, it is freely transferable, guys. Negotiable means freely transferable only. Freely transferable from one person to another, either by mere delivery or by endorsement plus delivery. So the point is, it is freely transferable just like any goods. This is a goods. Mobile phone, this is a goods. Just like any goods, if I'll simply transfer this phone to you, it is freely transferable, right? So just like goods, these instruments are freely transferable from one person to another. I hope these 3 points are clear. What are the characteristics of negotiable instrument? It must be in writing, signed, freely transferable. Next, holder title is free from defect. Holder means the person who's holding. For example, this 100 rupees note I am holding. So if I'm holding this 100 rupees, now I am the owner of this 100 rupees and my title is free from defect. Free from defect means someone else cannot come and say, ki, ma'am, you stole this 100 rupees from us. This is not yours. I can say, oh, I'm holding it. Then this is mine. My title is free from defect. My title means my ownership. Title means ownership. So my ownership in this 100 rupees note is free from defects. Next, it can be transferred any number of times. Same best example. Currency note. You can transfer it any number of time. I can give it to Ramu. Ramu can give it to Ramesh. Ramesh can give it to Suresh. Suresh can give it to Manjunath. Guys, it can be transferred any number of time. It can go from one hand to another to another. That's the thing about negotiable instrument. Same goes with promissory note, bills of exchange, check. Guys, you draw this check. The same check you can sign and you can transfer it to multiple person. Even Srinivasan can sign and transfer it to someone else. Transfer it to Raju. Raju can sign it, transfer it to Shamu. Shamu can sign and transfer it to Ramesh. This can be transferred multiple number of times. So these kind of negotiable instrument, they can be transferred unlimited number of times. They can be transferred any number of times until its satisfaction. Until its satisfaction means until finally it is satisfied. For example, this check you can transfer any number of time to any person, but once a person encashes this check from the bank, once a person gives this check to the bank and then get it encashed from the bank, now it cannot be transferred. So it can be transferred multiple number of times until its satisfaction. Okay, next point, guys. Last 3 points. Every negotiable instrument must contain an unconditional promise or order to pay money. First of all, guys, these three negotiable instruments are only about money. Promissory note, negotiable instrument, check. They only talks about payment of money. Guys, if I'll make you a promise ki I will take your revision classes, that's not a promissory note, because I'm not promising to give money, I'm promising to take revision classes. That's not money. So first of all, negotiable instrument must contain a promise or order to pay money. Apna sapna money. And the most important word is unconditional. Unconditional means I cannot put any condition in the negotiable instrument. For example, while drawing this check, same check, khul ja, same. Okay, while drawing this check, I cannot make any condition. He pay to Srinivasan only if he marries 6,004. I cannot put any condition. Ki only if Srinivasan marries, then only pay to Srinivasan 6,400 rupees. No, it's an unconditional promise. You can't put any condition here. So what is negotiable instrument? Negotiable instrument, it's an unconditional promise and order to pay money, and secondly it should consist of payment of money only. If you're promising to do something else, that's not a negotiable instrument. Negotiable instrument only talks about apna sapna money. Okay, next, the sum payable time pay must be certain. Certain means fixed. Sum payable amount, how much amount you have to pay, it should be fixed, 6,000 rupees. Time of payment, time whenever you're drawing a check or negotiable instrument, bills of exchange, time you have to mention. And pay means the person who's entitled to receive the payment, except for bearer. Bearer may you can write to bearer. Are you understanding? Otherwise all this names should be mentioned. Time of payment, sum payable, pay must be mentioned. Secondly, it must be delivered. Delivered means, for example, I made this check. Again, I made this check and I folded it and I kept in my drawer. Can Srinivasan get the money 6,500? Of course not, right? I have to deliver it. Every negotiable instrument, it is transferable either by delivery or by endorsement and delivery. Some instrument you just have to deliver, and some instrument you have to sign and then deliver. Are we clear with this? But delivery is important. If I keep this 100 rupees note in my drawer, can we say that it is transferred? No, right? So if I want to give this check to Srinivasan, I have to hand over the possession of this check to Srinivasan. If I keep it in my drawer, then it is not transferred. It is transferred only if I take the check, this physical check, and I hand over it to Srinivasan. So delivery means when you transfer the physical possession of that document is very important. Delivery is must in negotiable instrument. So it must be delivered. Mere drawing the instrument does not create any liability. If I simply made a check and I kept it in my drawer, it does not create any liability. You have to give that check or negotiable instrument to the other person. So these are all the essential characteristics of negotiable instrument. I hope this is clear. Please revise it before we do the next lecture. Please keep on checking the playlist. Shilpa ma'am have shared the playlist of the remaining lectures in WhatsApp group. You can check the link, and all the short notes of sales of goods act and contract act are already uploaded in a Google Drive. Google Drive link is already shared by Shilpa ma'am in the WhatsApp group. You all can check there. And please keep on checking this particular unlisted playlist. I'll keep on uploading the remaining lectures of the Negotiable Instrument Act and the agency topic in the same unlisted playlist. Tomorrow I'll upload the one more video of negotiable instrument, and we will try to complete the half lesson by one more video by tomorrow, and then by two more videos we'll complete this act, negotiable instrument act, and then we'll provide you agency. So we'll keep on uploading this lecture. Please check this unlisted playlist. You'll which the link of which is shared by Silpa ma'am in the WhatsApp group. There you will find all the remaining lectures. I hope it is understandable. In case you have any doubt in any of the law topic, you are not understanding any point or any provision from any of the lesson, you can telegram me at the rate CS Ishika Agrawal. I was a bit inactive, but now I am active again. So for any doubt relating to law, if you have any question, you have any doubt, you can't access any recording or any notes, then you can telegram me in this ID CS Ishika Agrawal. So please keep on checking the unlisted playlist. I'll be uploading the remaining videos very soon. Okay, I hope this is understandable to you. Please keep on revising, keep learning, keep growing. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.